Hello everyone, so good to see you again on my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kateryna and I'm your English teacher from Canada. In today's lesson, I have 5 English idioms for you that are all about coffee. I've chosen idioms that are useful and practical for everyday English. I use these 5 all the time and I often hear other native speakers using them as well. So I'm excited to share this with you. But first, coffee. All right, let's begin with our idioms. Number 1 is spill the beans. Here are some coffee beans or some other beans. To spill is a verb. Imagine you have something in a container, maybe some milk in a carton or some coffee beans in the container. To spill means you accidentally knocked it over and the contents of the container is all out. I spilled the milk. She spilled the coffee beans. To understand this as an idiom, you can imagine there is something that is meant to be kept closed or private. In this case, it's some information. To spill the beans means to accidentally or sometimes intentionally reveal a secret or disclose information that was meant to be kept private. Let's listen to a couple examples. I can't believe she spilled the beans about the surprise party before the big day. Okay, there was a party that was meant to be a surprise, and maybe the lady said something that gave it away by accident. So unfortunately, it was no longer a surprise. Here's another example. Okay, spill the beans. Where are you going on your honeymoon? In this example, we have a person telling someone else to spill the beans. So that's another great way to use this idiom. If you want someone to tell you some information that they are keeping a secret, use this phrase to ask them for it. Have you heard the word honeymoon before? When 2 people get married and afterwards they go on a short vacation, this is called a honeymoon. Idiom number 2, wake up and smell the coffee. So you are sleeping and then you wake up, smell the coffee. If you are a coffee drinker, then you know first thing in the morning when we smell coffee, it's a very pleasant experience and often you will become more alert. It gives you that little energy boost to just kind of wake you up, right? This is very helpful to understand this idiom. Often people need a little nudge or push or boost to help them see something that they otherwise cannot. This idiom is used to advise someone of the reality of a situation. It will help them to see it more clearly, to stop being naive or oblivious. Here's an example. You need to wake up and smell the coffee. Your financial situation is not going to improve without some effort. In this example, the person is being naive to their financial situation. Maybe they are spending way more money than they earn with the help of credit cards. Or maybe they're way behind on paying student loans or something like that, and they need a little push. Here's another example. Wake up and smell the coffee. It's time to start taking your studies more seriously. Here, the student needs a little nudge to help remind them, take your studies seriously. Maybe they're so close to graduation and they're starting to lose their motivation. They might need a little nudge. Idiom number 3 is coffee break. A break can be understood as a pause in some long stretch of time. For example, you have school from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. You have a break at 12 for lunch. So you're not going to be doing school. This is your pause in the middle of the day to rest. The idiom coffee break refers to a short pause or rest from work or an activity, and it often includes having some coffee or a different refreshment. For example, let's take a coffee break and talk about our upcoming vacation. Perhaps these are two students that are studying together and they want to take a break and have a conversation. Here's another example. I enjoy my coffee breaks in the afternoon. They help me recharge for the rest of the day. It's so important to take a break in the middle of the day. I know it can be very easy when we have a million things that we need to do. Don't forget to give yourself a break. Recharge. Have you ever tried to use a battery that was out of power? It doesn't work anymore. We need to recharge to get our energy back up. Why not go for a coffee break? Idiom number 4, a storm is brewing. A storm is very bad weather, strong rain and wind, maybe even a snowstorm. To brew is the verb we use when coffee is being made. Coffee is brewing. So you can imagine that a storm is some kind of negative situation and it's just starting up. Something happened that's going to lead to this negative consequence. This idiom suggests that some kind of trouble or problem is on the horizon or about to happen. For example, a storm was brewing at the dinner table. She shouldn't have mentioned the sensitive subject. Maybe this family recently had some negative situation happen and someone at the dinner table mentioned this topic. Other people are starting to get angry. A storm is brewing. Here is another example. In the office, it felt like a storm was brewing when the boss called an emergency meeting to address the budget cuts. How can we understand this example? Budget cuts. Usually this means that the money a company is spending, they want to lower it. And sometimes that means letting people go or firing their employees. So everyone's feeling very nervous due to this unfortunate situation. Idiom number 5, full of beans. To understand this, again, we can imagine some beans, some coffee beans or some other kind of beans. When something is full, that means we cannot put any more. My schedule is full. I couldn't possibly do another activity. The fridge is full. We have so much food to eat. So you can imagine there's lots and lots of something. As an idiom, if someone is described as being full of beans, it means they have a lot of energy, livelihood, or enthusiasm. They are just so full of it. They are bopping with excitement. You can just see this radiating from them. For example, after a good night's sleep, she woke up full of beans and ready to tackle the day. Sometimes a good night's sleep is all we need to feel full of beans again. Lots of energy, feeling very good, ready to start and do all the important things. This expression is often used to describe kids. The children were full of beans at the birthday party, running and playing games with endless energy. The first time I said kids, the second time children. These are interchangeable words. The children had endless energy. There was no end to their energy, no finish line. They just keep going and going, and sometimes us adults will look at them and say, "How do you have so much energy?" Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed this English lesson. It was very short and sweet. One last idiom for you. Something short and sweet is very precise and to the point, but also very pleasant to listen to. So I hope that was your experience. To connect with me on other platforms, check out the links in the description of this video. You can follow me on Instagram or visit my website to read my blog and to learn about my programs and services. Have a fantastic day, everyone, and I can't wait to see you in the next lesson. Bye! Idiom number 4. Oh my God! Marshall, what did you do? Troublemaker. Yes, you.